What's going on, everybody? Texas Redleg here. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good week. Hope you had a good week with family and friends. Hopefully you were able to relax and get some good meals made and consumed, and everything went well, and hopefully everybody got along. So if you traveled, I hope you made good time and everything was safe and you had no issues. So hopefully everybody is getting back in the swing of things, maybe heading home, maybe traveling, or getting ready to head back home. And since we're sort of on the back end of the holiday, and then you have another holiday with Christmas fast approaching soon, weeks away, I wanted to talk about the ever so important issue of traveling armed. And, by traveling, I'm talking about basically anytime you're moving, right? So I'm talking about whether you're on foot, walking around, going shopping, whether you're in a vehicle, driving, or a passenger, or, I don't know. I don't know where you could be, it could be anything, right? And then also air travel. So let's just start at the top. I know that a lot of people are still on the fence with carrying and exercising their rights to have the opportunity to defend yourself with deadly force should it come to that. So I understand that. For those of you that are not on the fence anymore and you are actually doing it or very close to making it a part of your everyday defensive posture, good for you. And this video is sort of going to be directed towards people that do carry or are soon to be doing it on a regular basis. So let's just take foot traffic, walking, for example. I'm a big fan of being former law enforcement. I'm a big fan of holsters or some type of other secure method of carrying a firearm safely. Inside the waistband or outside the waistband are your typical holster options. There's shoulder holsters, there's belt bands, there's all sorts of cool things. Leg holsters for wear inside your boot or just under your jeans. There's all sorts of cool holsters out there for men and women, quite honestly. And I'll be honest with you, women have a lot more choices than men do, just because of the technology and the things that they wear, etc. So I would really, personally, I'm not an open carry guy. I know a lot of people are. Nothing against it. Just my personal preference is that I carry concealed. So I'm mainly an inside the waistband carrier. I do have outside the waistband holsters that are fairly subdued, concealable. So I do sometimes carry outside the waistband. It just depends on the situation. I do have some tactical leg rigs that I will use in more of a rural or a hunting atmosphere, camping type thing, or SHTF. I'll be definitely having a leg rig on for sure. But holsters are huge. Also you have backpacks. There's all sorts of backpacks out there that are made for carrying a firearm. Now, there's backpacks that are specifically made for that purpose, and there's also backpacks that you can, make use of that will allow you to carry a firearm safely. I personally don't have a backpack that is made for that specific purpose, but I do have a backpack which I carry a firearm in almost every day. If it's not on my person, it's in my backpack. And then women have these purses now. I mean, they're really cool. They're like little saddlebag holsters. I know there's several manufacturers. One of them I know is Browning, and the Academy stores carry them, and they're leather. There's different sizes, shapes, colors, and it's a really cool setup. And I don't think they're that expensive. I think they're $100 or less for the most part. So you might want to look into those purses at Academy and other places. And I know there's other manufacturers as well. I just am not up to speed on all the different ones. But, if you're going to have a backpack on, and there's also backpacks that have these tactical vests, these plate carrier basically attached to it, and you just basically pull it over the front. And you've got a front and a rear protection layer for firearms, up to a certain caliber. So those are pretty cool. However, you know, these sort of transfer over into the vehicle aspect of this video as well. So, like I said, I always have it on me, on my person, in the form of inside the waistband or outside the waistband, or it's in my backpack, typically right beside me or right behind me where I can grab it. So it's always within arm's reach of me if it's not on my physical person. It's just a habit that I'm into, and it's not a big deal to me. It's like putting on a watch. And as far as signage goes about, so-and-so doesn't allow firearms in this establishment, whatever. I don't pay attention to that crap because I'm good at what I do. I'm safe, I'm professional, and I don't do things that are going to put me in danger. And I'm not going to get killed because somebody has a sign up in their window. Okay, it's just not going to happen. And most stores, just from their own risk management perspective, are going to have that sign up. That's just how they are now. And so be disciplined, be trained. I'm not telling you to go out and break laws. What I'm telling you is to be good at what you do, because there may come a time very soon where the norm is that you carry a handgun for self-protection, or you may just get killed or assaulted or whatever the case might be. It's not good. So I would encourage you to know the laws, be deliberate, be safe, but have the ability to defend yourself, because it would be really stupid to get killed because of some damn sign. So back to vehicles. My particular personal situation is that I have it on me, or it's in a backpack right beside me where I can get to it fast. And also you have a console, you have a glove box, you have, other hiding areas. There's all sorts of gadgetry that you can mount in under the steering column that's magnetic. You can rack the slide, and it's a holster and secure and all that stuff too. There's just all kinds of stuff that works for different people. So in my situation, whether I'm on foot or whether I'm in a vehicle, it doesn't really matter, because I'm in the same posture, because it's either on my hip or carrying, appendix carry, or it's in a backpack right beside me. 99.9% of the time. I can't really think of a situation where I don't have it physically on my person, unless I'm actually, in an airplane. And so that takes us to air travel. A lot of people are under the misconception that you can't have a gun, in an airplane. And from a carry-on perspective, that's true. Unless you're federal law enforcement or authorized to do so as an air marshal or something like that, you can't carry a firearm, or a pilot that's licensed to do so. You can't, as a civilian, just a passenger on an airplane, you cannot carry a firearm as a carry-on onto a plane. Correct. However, you can check that firearm, and I'll give you an example. Typically, in the United States, the big airlines, of course, you need to check with your airline, because it may differ. I typically always fly Southwest if I can, so that's what I'm used to. But you have to go, number one, you have to make sure it's in your checked luggage. Number two, it has to be in a lockable hard case with 2 locks on it. Okay, so checked luggage, lockable hard case, like a Pelican case. There's different brands, with 2 locks. If it's got 2 locations for 2 locks, you've got to have 2 locks on it. If it's just 1 lock, then 1 lock is fine. But if it's got 2 spots on either side, you have to have 2 locks on that case, or they can't kick it back. You can either go with the TSA locks or a key lock. I have one of each on mine. It's, whatever. It's not a big deal to me. Also, the firearm has to be unloaded. So in other words, you can have the firearm, in the case, and then you can have 2 full magazines if you want to, or a box of bullets, or whatever the case might be in the same case. So the firearm just can't be loaded. And based on my experience, that's just the way that the airlines that I typically travel, that's what they want. They want it unloaded in a lockable case with 2 locks. And they basically make you fill out a form. They put a form on the actual a hard case with a piece of tape on it that you fill out and sign. They put a red and white striped tag on the handle of the suitcase, and I typically have a TSA lock on the suitcase as well, so there's no problem. They can get right into it. It's not a big deal. I don't want them to have any trouble, checking my bag out, because I'm traveling legal. And again, you need to make sure that wherever you're going to has a reciprocal, again, you have to know the laws of where you're going. But like for Texas example, I could fly to most states. There's, I think, 38 or 39 states that are reciprocal with Texas laws regarding, concealed carry. And basically, if you have a Texas license, like, you're good in Oklahoma, you're good in Arkansas, you're good in Colorado and such. I mean, I'm just giving you examples here. The reciprocal agreements that your state, that you're licensed in, has with other states, because that's huge. Texas just became a constitutional carry state, and a lot of people are saying, well, I'm not going to renew my license to carry because I don't need it anymore. Well, if you just stay in Texas, it's true. But if you travel abroad, into other states, they may not have open carry, and they might not even recognize Texas' right to open carry, but they may recognize concealed carry or license to carry. So that's why I'm keeping my license to carry up, because I want that capability legally to be able to carry in other states. And I'll throw in a bonus item here. I think you all need to look into some sort of insurance with regards to private gun ownership. There's several of them out there. U.S. CCA and their Texas Law Shield. There's all kinds of insurance programs out there for citizens if they should have a incident where they use their firearm and they get arrested. I think it's up to $25,000 in bail, and then the lawyers are basically free. But it's a monthly fee of, I think mine's like $11 or $12 a month, and it's money well spent, believe me. But I would seriously consider, looking into something like that for yourself regarding, having an incident when you have to utilize your firearm and you maybe get arrested, or whatever the case might be. You need to have some representation, and it's basically just make a phone call and they come. You don't have to talk to anybody. So I would seriously consider something like that. Again, there's different ones out there. I'm with the Texas Law Shield group. They don't give me anything to say that. I've always been with them, and it's just one of those things that I've always kept on, because I like the security of having that. So anyway, kind of a long video tonight. I've been off the net for a little bit with Thanksgiving and all that, and then a sick family member, but it is what it is. Kind of back in the saddle now, and missed everybody. Hopefully you had a good holiday, and you are getting your stuff done that you need to get done, and getting prepped for this next variant that's right around the corner, likely already here, and all that entails. So we all suspected this was coming, and sure enough, here it is. So, and right on time for Christmas too, huh? Yeah, of course. So anyway, I hope everybody is doing well. Again, I've been out the net. Hopefully we can converse a little bit and interact and catch up. So with that, everybody, keep prepping, stack it deep, and always remember, long live the Republic.